That's how it was with Claire. We met at a friend's rooftop party in Brooklyn. It was one of those early spring nights where the air is still cold, but the city feels like it's waking up again. She was standing near the edge, sipping white wine from a plastic cup, laughing at something someone said, and God, that laugh, it had this warm, unfiltered ease to it, like she wasn't trying to impress anyone, just enjoying the moment. That's what pulled me in first. We started talking about books, then about dogs, then somehow ended up debating which cereal mascot would win in a fistfight. It was ridiculous and perfect. That night, after we all left, she texted me, "Still think Tony the Tiger could take Lucky the Leprechaun?" I was already smiling before I even opened the message. From there, it just flowed. We'd stay up talking until 3 a.m. about everything and nothing. She'd send me voice notes reading poems she liked. I once biked 6 miles in the rain just to bring her favorite Thai dish when she was having a rough day. Didn't think twice. Every surprise she planned for me felt like a movie scene. Like the night she took me to that hidden jazz bar in the village because she remembered me saying I missed the sound of live saxophones. It wasn't grand gestures, it was her remembering things, noticing the little stuff. And me? I was all in. No walls, no holding back. I wanted to be the guy she deserved, and I truly thought, I really believed, I'd found the person I could build a life with. It didn't happen all at once. That's what made it harder to see. At first, it was just little things. She'd take a few hours longer to reply to my texts, said work was hectic, back-to-back meetings, bad signal in the office. Totally reasonable stuff. I believed her. Of course I did. Relationships take trust, right? Then she started canceling plans. "Sorry babe, my boss dropped this last-minute deadline. Ugh, I'm exhausted. Can we reschedule?" Again, I tried to be supportive. I told her to take care of herself, sent food deliveries when she said she was too tired to cook, left flowers on her stoop one morning just to make her smile, but the silences got longer. The late replies turned into ghosting for entire evenings. I'd send her something funny, something I knew would have made her laugh months ago, and get nothing, or worse, just a dry, LOL. The next morning, still. I told myself not to panic. Everyone goes through stressful phases. Maybe she just needed space. I didn't want to be that guy, the one who crowds her, who turns love into pressure. So I waited, but waiting turned into wondering, wondering turned into anxiety. I'd find myself staring at my phone like it held answers. I reread old texts like they were maps to a place I was trying to get back to. I kept giving her the benefit of the doubt, even as I started doubting myself. Was I being too needy? Too intense? Had I done something wrong? I told no one. I didn't want to speak it into existence, but the truth was, the woman who once made me feel like the center of her universe, was slowly drifting into another orbit, and I had no idea why. It was a Tuesday afternoon when everything clicked. I was scrolling through Instagram during a lunch break, just killing time. Her profile had been quiet lately, but then I noticed a tag. One of those casual story posts from someone I didn't know. A group shot at a rooftop bar. Claire, standing too close to a guy I'd never seen. His arm was around her waist, not in a friendly way. You could feel the comfort, the ownership. I clicked through to his profile. Public. The second photo hit like a punch to the ribs. Just the two of them, faces pressed close, her head on his shoulder. The caption, "Right place, right person, grateful. Dated last weekend." The same night she said she was homesick. I didn't need to read more. I didn't need explanations or context. Everything I'd been sensing, the distance, the avoidance, the vague excuses, suddenly made perfect, awful sense. I just sat there, phone in hand, trying to breathe through the weight in my chest. I didn't call, didn't text, didn't lash out or demand answers. What would be the point? She'd already made her choice, quietly, without telling me, without the decency of honesty. That night, I walked past the little coffee shop where we used to sit on Sundays and didn't stop. I turned off my phone. I deleted her number. I left everything, the memories, the hope, the version of her I had built in my mind, right there on that sidewalk. And I didn't look back. I didn't slam doors, didn't write bitter posts, didn't send angry texts. I just disappeared. She reached out 3 days later. "Hey," that's all it said, casual, like nothing happened. A message so light, it could have floated away on the wind. I stared at it for a long time, then archived the chat. That was the last time I acknowledged her presence. Instead, I turned inward, into the silence. I joined a gym, not out of spite, but because I needed to feel something again. I started waking up early, running by the river before work. There was something cleansing about the cold morning air. The steady rhythm of my breath syncing with my feet, I hadn't felt in control in weeks. That run gave it back to me. I picked up old hobbies, my guitar, sketching, even started learning how to cook more than just pasta, reconnected with friends I'd unintentionally drifted from while I'd been orbiting her world, and for the first time in a while, my life felt like mine again. Weeks passed, then came the notifications. She started liking old photos on Instagram, the kind buried deep, like she was trying to dig her way back into my life. A picture of me and my dog, shot from my trip to Colorado 2 years ago. She even followed a friend of mine she'd barely spoken to. Subtle moves, clumsy, quiet attempts at a return. I ignored them all, not to be cruel, but because silence was the only honest answer I had left, and because the man she left behind wasn't standing still, he was evolving. It started with a message at 2:17 a.m., "Can we talk?" I didn't answer. The next day, another one came, longer this time, a paragraph, then 2, then 5, I didn't read them all, but I caught the gist in the preview. I made a mistake. I didn't know what I was thinking. He didn't mean anything. She wrote like she was finally seeing what she'd lost, like I was still the man standing where she left me, just waiting to forgive her. I wasn't. 2 days later came a voice note, her voice shaking, soft, almost rehearsed. "I've been thinking about you, about us, I miss you, you were the only one who ever really saw me." I played it once, just once, then deleted it. She tried calling, I didn't pick up. Then, one night, I did reply, just once, calm, measured, not out of anger, just clarity. "You had something real, and you walked away from it. I'm not angry, but I'm done." That was it. No drama, no pleading. I blocked her after that, not to hurt her, but to close the door, fully, emotionally, digitally, permanently. She had her chance, and she chose another path, and I had finally chosen mine. The thing about walking away from something broken, if you do it fully, if you really let go, is that you don't just heal, you evolve. In the months that followed, my world changed in ways I hadn't expected. I got promoted at work, finally had the clarity and drive to push for what I'd been holding back, started mentoring at a local youth center on weekends. I met people who added to my life instead of draining it, real conversations, real energy, and somewhere in all of that, I met Hannah. No sparks flying, no dramatic music, just calm, a steady presence. The kind of woman who listens without needing to fix you, who shows up because she wants to, not because she's bored or lonely. We took it slow, no mind games, no silent treatments or cryptic texts. When she said she'd call, she called. When she said she cared, I believed her, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I had to prove my worth to be loved. With Claire, I was constantly guessing, trying to decode moods, read between the lines, convince myself I was enough. With Hannah, I just was. The difference was night and day. Where there had been tension, now there was peace. Where there had been performance, now there was presence, and every day, I saw more clearly. Claire had been a lesson, but she was never the destination. The letter came on a quiet Sunday, handwritten envelope, no return address. I knew it was from her before I even opened it. The handwriting, the weight, it all felt familiar, too familiar. I sat with it for a while before finally reading. It was pages long. Apologies. Reflections. I didn't know what I had. You were good to me, and I didn't value that. I thought I wanted freedom, but I didn't realize I was giving up something real. Words that might have shattered me once, but now they were just echoes from a life I'd already left behind. I didn't reply, not out of spite, not out of ego, but because I no longer needed to. Her words, though sincere, came from a place I no longer lived in. I'd outgrown that version of love, the one built on imbalance, confusion, and emotional crumbs. I didn't hate her, I truly didn't. I wished her peace, even, but wishing someone well doesn't mean inviting them back in. Some doors stay closed not because of anger, but because healing has taken place behind them. If someone keeps you as a backup, don't wait for the day they realize your value. Live like someone who already knows it, because in the end, silence isn't emptiness, it's closure.